It's just as simple, my friend. Life isn't waiting for you to get ready, and success sure isn't coming to knock on your door while you sit around thinking about it. The truth is, nothing changes until you roll your sleeves up and get after it. And I mean really get after it, not just talking, not just planning, not just wishing but doing. See, a lot of people talk a good game. They tell the world about their big dreams, their intentions, their plans. They've got it all figured out in theory, but the problem is this: no results, zero, nothing. And if you're honest with yourself, you already know that. Here's the reality. You are the sum total of the actions you take. Not the sum total of what you think, not the sum total of what you say, not even the sum total of what you believe. It's your actions that determine your life. Right now, if your actions add up to zero, then zero is exactly what you're going to keep getting. The math doesn't lie, and right now, the math might not be adding up in your favor, but here's the good news: you can flip the math. Sometimes the best way to add is by subtracting. Subtract the distractions. Subtract the laziness. Subtract the endless video games, the scrolling, the excuses, the lack of organization, the lack of preparation, the lack of a real plan. Every single one of those things is stealing your future, one day at a time. The more you subtract what doesn't serve you, the more space you create for what will change you. Because here's the secret: when you start adding value to yourself, when you start moving differently, thinking differently, showing up differently, something powerful happens. The universe, God, life, whatever you believe in starts aligning with you. Doors you didn't see before suddenly open. Opportunities start appearing. People who can help you start showing up. And that's when the math starts to flip in your favor. It doesn't just add anymore, it multiplies. Your progress, your results, your growth, your momentum, it all compounds. But it only happens if you do the work. Now, I'm going to be real with you. Doing the work isn't comfortable. Rolling up your sleeves and putting in the grind isn't fun at first. It's going to feel heavy. It's going to feel like pushing a car uphill. But that's where everything begins. Every transformation starts with that decision to get uncomfortable, to do what you've never done before, to break the cycle of insanity, because insanity is doing the same thing over and over again while expecting a different result. Think about it. How long have you been saying you're going to change? How long have you been telling yourself, this is my year? How long have you been waiting for the perfect moment? And what's changed? Nothing. Why? Because talk doesn't move you forward. Work does. I had a conversation recently that really drove this home. Someone said to me, I'm over it. I'm tired of living like this. I want something different. And I said, are you really over it? Because if you were, your actions would reflect that. If you're over losing, you stop doing the things that keep you losing. If you're over being stuck, you stop repeating the same patterns that keep you stuck. If you're over living average, you stop making average decisions. You can't claim to be done with something while still feeding it every single day with your actions. This is why I tell people your results don't come from your intentions. They come from your game, winning plays. Just like in sports, the scoreboard doesn't lie. You can want to win, you can talk about winning, you can even believe you deserve to win. But at the end of the game, if you didn't make the right plays, you lose. Period. And right now, if you're not getting the outcomes you want, it's because you're not making enough game, winning plays in your own life. So here's what I need from you: roll up your sleeves and get to work. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting for motivation to magically show up. Motivation comes after action, not before it. You move first, the energy follows. You take the first step, the momentum builds. You get through one day of real action, then another, and before you know it, 1 week has turned into 1 month, and 1 month has turned into 6 months. And by then, you don't even recognize yourself anymore, because you're finally living as the person you've been talking about becoming. And here's the beautiful part: when people see that shift in you, when they notice that something is different, they may not even know what it is at first. It might not even be your physical appearance, it might just be the aura around you, the way you carry yourself, the energy you bring into a room. That's what happens when you commit to doing the work. Your entire presence changes, and people will ask you, what's different about you, what happened, and all you'll have to say is, I made a decision, I rolled my sleeves up, and I went to work. So let me ask you this right now, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep talking about change, or are you going to start creating it? Are you going to keep playing the same losing game, or are you ready to start making those winning plays? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what anyone else says. It all starts with you, and the truth is, it's always been you. The hardest fight you will ever face isn't with another person. It isn't with your boss, your competition, or the people doubting you. The toughest fight of your life is the one you fight every single day with yourself. That's the battle of you versus you. See, the truth is, nobody can stop you but you. Nobody can hold you back but you. The demons, the doubts, the fears, the excuses, they all live in your own head. And unless you learn to shut those voices down, they will keep you trapped exactly where you are. That's why I tell people, conquer yourself first, and everything else in life becomes conquerable. Now here's the tricky part. Those negative voices, they don't show up screaming. They whisper. They say things like, not today. They say, you're too tired. They say, you can start tomorrow. And slowly but surely, they rob you of your momentum. They kill your dreams, and they convince you that average is good enough. But here's the truth, average is never going to satisfy you, because you weren't built for average. You know it. Deep down inside, you know there's more in you, more waiting to be unleashed. That's why the battle of you versus you is so important. Because the old you, the lazy you, the distracted you, the undisciplined you wants to stay in control. That old version of yourself doesn't want to die. It will fight to stay alive. Every time you decide to level up, that old you will rise up with resistance. It will try to pull you back into old habits, old patterns, old thinking. That's why so many people quit before they ever see results, because they didn't realize it wasn't supposed to be easy. But let me tell you something. It's not supposed to be easy. Growth is painful. Change is uncomfortable. You are literally at war with the old version of yourself, and like any fight, it's not going to be won in one round. It's not going to be won in a week. It's a continuous battle, and you've got to be willing to show up for it every single day. So here's what I want you to do. When those negative thoughts show up, don't negotiate with them. Don't argue with them. Knock them out. Shut them down. Replace them with action. Every time that voice says, stay in bed, you get up. Every time it says, skip the work, you double down. Every time it says, you can't, you prove it wrong. And if you keep doing that long enough, something incredible happens. Those negative voices get tired. They start realizing they don't have power over you anymore. And that's when you know you've won the first stage of the battle. But don't get it twisted, they'll come back. Those doubts, those fears, those demons, they always try to sneak back in. And that's why discipline matters so much. You've got to build yourself into someone who doesn't need to feel motivated to act. Someone who doesn't need to feel like it to do it anyway. Because once you've built that level of discipline, nothing can stop you. Now, let me be clear about something. Pain is part of this process. Too many people expect transformation to feel good. It won't. It's going to hurt. You're going to sweat. You're going to want to quit. You're going to feel like you're breaking before you ever feel like you're winning. And that's okay, because pain is proof that you're growing. Pain is part of the investment. If it were easy, everybody would do it. But it's not easy, and that's why so few people reach the top. The top is reserved for those who are willing to outlast their own excuses. The top is reserved for the ones who choose to fight themselves day after day until the old version of them finally stays down for good. And that's exactly what I need from you right now. I need you to declare war on the old you. I need you to decide today that the version of yourself that procrastinates, that complains, that gives up, that version dies today. It doesn't get another chance. You're going to bury that old you by replacing every single weakness with action, discipline, and relentless execution. Because here's the truth, the new you is waiting to be born. But a rebirth doesn't come without a fight. Just like in life, birth requires struggle, pushing, pressure. The new you only emerges when you've pushed past the limits of the old you. That's the only way transformation happens. So here's my challenge to you. Step into the battle of you versus you. Don't shy away from it. Don't pretend it isn't happening. Lean into it. Because if you can conquer yourself, if you can master your mind, your habits, your discipline, then there's nothing outside of you that can ever hold you back again. For far too long, you've been living as a shadow of who you were meant to be. You've been letting the old you, the fearful you, the lazy you, the excuse, making you run the show. But that version of you has to die. There is no room for the old you if you want to step into greatness. This is the moment where you draw the line. This is the moment where you say, enough is enough. Death to the old you, because rebirth can't happen without death. And I'm not talking about physical death. I'm talking about killing off those habits, those thoughts, those patterns that have been holding you hostage. The rebirth happens when you roll your sleeves up and do the things you've been avoiding. It happens when you stop talking about what you're going to do and actually do it. It happens when you push, and you push, and you push until the new you bursts through. And make no mistake, it's going to take everything you've got. Every ounce of effort, every bit of discipline, every drop of sweat. But when the new you shows up, the world won't even recognize you. People will look at you and say, what happened to you? And your answer will be simple. I made a decision. I buried the old me and I was reborn. That's the kind of transformation you're capable of. That's the level of power that's already inside of you waiting to be unleashed. But here's the reality. Nobody's coming to do it for you. No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to roll up your sleeves and put in the work. This is on you, and that's the best news you'll ever hear, because it means you're in control. It means the life you want is in your hands. It means you don't have to wait on permission or luck or timing. You just have to decide. So I'm asking you, no, I'm challenging you to stop talking and start doing. Stop waiting and start working. Stop living in the shadow of who you used to be and step into the light of who you're meant to become. Because if you're tired of losing, then do the things that winners do. If you're tired of struggling, then do the things that successful people do. If you're tired of being average, then do what the exceptional few are willing to do. Roll your sleeves up and outwork every excuse that comes your way. This is the rebirth. This is the new beginning. And it starts the second you stop talking about it and start acting on it. So here's my call to action for you right now. Don't just watch this. Don't just nod your head and say, that was good. Take this message and make a decision. Pick one thing today that the old you would never do and do it anyway. Build momentum, one action at a time. Let that one day turn into 2 days, then a week, then a month, then a year, and before you know it, you'll look back and realize you don't even recognize the old you anymore. The new you is waiting, the new you is ready, but the new you only shows up when you're willing to bury the old one and fight for the life you were meant to live. So roll your sleeves up, get after it. Do the work and go become the person you were born to be.